I used oils for years on my hair and it did absolutely nothing for my hair loss. So stay tuned to find out why I don't use oils on my hair anymore. So oil for hair loss seems to be a massive trend, a type of holy grail for hair loss. But for some people like myself, it can actually end up doing more harm than good. At the age of 18, I actually started experimenting with oils, hoping that it could fix my hair loss problems. And I ended up getting roped into countless articles and YouTube videos that boasted the wonders of using oils for hair loss and for hair growth, and nothing ended up happening. My hair loss didn't get any better. My hair itself didn't get any better. That's not to say that hair oils won't grow your hair. This is just the reason why I personally don't use oil for my hair. So let's get to it. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you guys will know that I have something called seborrheic dermatitis. I've probably butchered the pronunciation of that, so I'm just gonna say dermatitis of the scalp because that rolls off the tongue a lot easier. So as you guys know, I do have a dermatitis on my scalp. And this is a skin condition that causes your scalp to get flaky and red and itchy, and it can be really difficult to deal with and to soothe and to get rid of. From what I've researched online, it seems to be that researchers aren't really sure of the exact thing that causes seborrheic dermatitis, but one of the things that it could be, and I'm going to assume this is the reason for a lot of people, it is triggered by an overgrowth of malassezia yeast due to an excess of sebum production on the scalp. So I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about sebum. It is an oil that you naturally produce that comes out of your scalp, and this is either why some of us tend to wash our hair a lot and some of us don't wash our hair a lot. If you do have dermatitis of the scalp, then it's probably more likely that you are going to be washing your hair more frequently because you are trying to get rid of this excess oil on your hair that is feeding the yeast on your scalp and giving you dermatitis. Okay, so we've already established that if you have dermatitis of the scalp, then having lots of oil on your scalp isn't a good thing because that oil is then going to feed the yeast, and there is going to be an overgrowth of yeast on your scalp, which will cause itching and flaking and all the other nasty things that come with a dermatitis of the scalp. So obviously you can imagine if you already suffer with dermatitis, if you then add extra oils on top of your scalp, this isn't really gonna do much for the health of your scalp. By adding more oil to your scalp, then you are just feeding the malassezia. And one thing to know about malassezia is that it likes to eat oils that are high in saturated fat. So if you are applying oils to your scalp that are high in saturated fat, then you are just continuing to feed the yeast on your scalp. And one thing that is high in saturated fat are some organic oils. So when I tried fixing my hair loss problems, there are two oils that I did try out because they were cheap and readily available, and they were really hyped up, like I said, online on YouTube by other people as kind of miracle products for hair growth. And these are olive oil and coconut oil, which I'm sure you probably, if you are watching this video, these are two oils that you've already put on your scalp and you have tried to use in hopes of your hair growing. But actually these two oils are both high in saturated fats and unsaturated fats. So obviously the yeast is going to be eating the saturated fats from these oils, but then also if you have lots of unsaturated fats on your scalp as well, this is going to cause inflammation too. As I noted anecdotally, these two oils never worked for me, and that's not to say that I don't believe that they work at a very superficial level. You know, I feel like when you do put oils on your hair, it makes your hair feel really good and healthier, and that is because it is coating the hair shaft and making it appear more denser, making it feel more denser, and that is because you have the oil coating your hair, which at a superficial level does make it feel as if it is doing some good for your hair, but really you could be doing a lot more damage to your scalp deep down, and you might not even realize that that is the thing that is causing the dermatitis. Now, I won't completely knock coconut oil because it actually can be good for some things. If you are kind of prone to having dry ends, then using coconut oil on the ends of your hair just a little bit can be really good for something that is called high growth fatigue. And high growth fatigue is something that happens to your hair when it continuously gains water and then loses water, maybe by blow drying your hair. So it is a good idea to maybe put some coconut oil on the ends of your hair if that is something that you suffer with. But for me personally, because my hair is so thin, it's not really worth me adding the oil to the ends of my hair, just in case it kind of does get onto my scalp, because the last thing I want is a dermatitis flare up when I've already got some pretty bad dermatitis as it is. But with that being said, I actually haven't really read anything about the benefits of coconut oil and olive oil for hair growth. But that's not to say that you can use these oils as a carrier oil and mix it with some other type of essential oil to help with your hair growth. But you guys kind of know how I feel about that already. For me personally, it's just not worth it to put oils on my scalp and mix it with essential oils. For some people, I know that they want to go the complete natural way of doing things and they don't want to use things like minoxidil or spironolactone or finasteride, and they are happy to just use these carrier oils with essential oils. And if that works for your hair growth, then that is absolutely fine. But I just think those of us out there who do suffer with seborrheic dermatitis, then we need to be a little more careful with the things that we are applying to our scalp, because this is going to cause us some inflammation, and inflammation can cause some hair loss because your scalp is not thriving and healthy. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like oil and hair oil is a very big thing on YouTube, and I get really annoyed when I see people who already have really nice hair posting videos about using a certain oil and saying that it's a miracle product, when in fact their hair was just genetically really good to begin with, and they're just putting oil on their hair and it's probably feeling nice superficially, and then they're claiming that it is a miracle growth product when I haven't really seen any science to back it up. And just because genetically you have good hair, it doesn't mean that the things that you are putting on your hair are making your hair better, if that makes sense. So do remember, just because somebody has beautiful hair, it doesn't mean that what they are doing to their hair is the answer. There are other factors that come into play, such as genetics. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you found it useful, be sure to give it a like, and if you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.